Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Let me just turn the music down a little bit. Even though it is one of my most favorite songs, Short Change Hero by The Heavy. Awesome song, just great song. Welcome. This is Late Night with Cranky Friends, and I am the Cranky Canuck. I'm the one responsible for this madness that goes on every night at 12 a.m. That sounds strange. Night, 12 a.m. Anyway, I am joined tonight by my great co-host, the Red Mage, sitting down in Hamilton, looking all dapper and sort of Castro-y, or whatever you want to call it. How you doing there, bud?
Good. Living the dream.
Living the dream. Living the dream. You know, I don't know. I kind of think it's a nightmare sometimes, but hey, whatever works. And on this side, we have Fiole joining us from Cali, Northern Cali, the nice part of Cali, the wilderness part of Cali. How you doing, dear?
I'm good.
Yeah. I want to thank you for jumping in because Corrida was booked for tonight, but she had a family thing that came up that she has to be sort of right on top of, and so you kindly agreed to jump in, save me from having a mental meltdown. For anybody who was hanging around Dizzy Disaster's channel this afternoon and this evening, we got the pleasure of seeing the brand spanking new, well, for him it was brand spanking new, for the rest of us we're going to have to wait until the 10th, City Skyline from Paradox and Colossal Idol, I think it's called, the developers, I think their name is Colossal Idol. Now, I know neither of you paid any attention to it, so that's fine. I'll just babble on for a few seconds about how fucking awesome the great... Like, if you are a city builder and you let down by SimCity 2013, a lot of people were, some weren't, some were. And if you found City XXXL to be a steaming pile of shit, don't worry. There is hope on the horizon, folks, because City Skyline is awesome. It really, really is. It will actually reinvigorate the whole city building genre, I think, personally. It was really that good. As a matter of fact, it's sitting in my library right now, waiting until the 10th, which is going to be really difficult, because, you see, not only on the 10th does it get released so that I can actually play it, but there's another very, very important geek event happening on the 10th. Does anybody know what it is? It's super important.
It's super important.
Oh, isn't that the Marvel Daredevil? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank God. I'm waiting.
Yes, Netflix will be launching their joint little venture with Marvel with the... Basically, it's the Marvel Universe in Hell's Kitchen, because everything around those series is based on the superhero characters from Hell's Kitchen in New York. So it's going to be, and oh man, it's just the pictures I've seen so far. Yes.
And
yes.
There is a reason why my Netflix just got resubscribed last week.
Yes.
And
yes.
That is it.
That's the one. That is the one. Yes. While we're on the subject of movies, Dead Rising, the video game, with all its gore and goriness and zombies and all wonderful shit like that, they made a movie called Dead Rising Watchtower in conjunction with Crackle. It's a Crackle original movie. If you don't know what Crackle is, let me put it this way. It's... a half-assed knockoff of Netflix.
That's free.
Yeah, it's free. Okay. The movie was directed by Zach Lipovsky from a script written by Tim Carter. The zombie apocalypse film stars Jesse Metcalf from, you might know him from Jason Tucker Must Die, Desperate Housewives, Dallas. So, good talent there. Megan Ori from Once Upon a Time and Intelligence, little come-uppance there, and a bunch of other people. Now this is a new one, a made-for-the-internet movie.
Well, House of Cards is a made-for-the-internet TV series.
Yeah, but we're talking about the difference between... we're talking the difference between actual, entertainment value and highly questionable. But what we do have is a trailer for it. So let's have a look at what we can expect from the Watchtower.
Jesus, Chase, no.
We want the drama. We got to get the needles.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Hey, I thought you injected him. I did.
There's no need to panic.
Hey, watch the road.
What advice do you have for those trapped in the quarantine zone?
You're basically
That's
At least someone said it.
How bad will it get?
Am I the only one who knows about zombies around here?
Okay.
They don't
That folks is yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
That's Dead Rising Watchtower. Now
I'm probably gonna watch it too.
I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. I probably will have. No, I don't have to force myself to. Screw that nonsense.
Well, no, you don't have to force anything for the price of admission. What the fuck? Why the hell not? Like, it's free. Well, the only thing you got to lose is 2 hours of your life.
Hey, listen. At my age, those 2 hours are worth something. More than a goddamn shit movie. So, what do you guys think? Is this going to be a socially redeeming, movie, or is this just going to be a schlock knockoff of a video game on zombies?
Honestly, this is a shut your brain off, grab the popcorn, and enjoy the ride kind of film. I'm not going to go into it expecting quality work. I'm just expecting to enjoy the time. And that's about it.
What do you think, Mioli? Are you going to line up to watch this one?
I'm not gonna line up to go. I'm not gonna pay to watch it.
Well, it's on Crackle. It's free.
Well, then yeah, if it's free, why not? I'm totally into horrors. I've probably seen about every zombie movie you can possibly think of, and then some.
Oh, so
every zombie hybrid out there. I'm way into horror and gore. Big time into gore.
I think listen, if I want horror and gore, I'll just read the Daily News. Like, that's that can get gory
No,
enough.
that is not horror and that is not gore. That is depression. There's a difference, okay? There's a huge difference. At least gore is an outlet. Depression is a stop sign. You know what I'm saying?
One other movie that I am just cannot wait to hit because it's a reboot. Well, yeah, reboot of a classic, and that is the Mad Max. Now, I've seen a couple of the trailers for the movie, and I'm just loving what's out there. But apparently, there is also a video game coming with a semi tie-in. I think it's in name only. It's going to be for the PC, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. And they've left any of the older platforms like PS3 and Xbox 360, to go away because they just want to concentrate on the good ones. The The game's release date is 4 months after the upcoming Mad Max Road Fury film, which is due to arrive on the 15th of May. The game version of Mad Max is set in a post-apocalyptic open-world adventure where on-foot action and vehicular combat. And just to kind of give you an idea of what you can expect, we have a trailer. So, folks, in chat, let us know what you think of this Mad Max game teaser trailer.
Peggy 18.
I gotta admit, the graphics look pretty good.
Yeah, but that's definitely cinematic and not in-game.
Yes.
So I'm reserving judgment until I see actual game.
I'm not sure if we're gonna see it in this, but because it's a teaser trailer. But
Kill me. Then kill me. Don't go, please. Please.
he's gonna run him over. What do you want to bet? He's gonna run him over. Oh shit! Come on!
There's no guarantee that if you ran him over, you'd kill him right away.
Oh! Yes.
Oh, here
I
you
know
go.
it. I know it. I know it.
That's a guarantee.
Okay, so that's yeah. As typical with all trailers, we know shit all after watching it. Like,
yeah, I thought it was a movie. Honest.
Don't get me wrong, I know trailers can be fun. But when it comes to video games, like trailers for movies are one thing. I hate short ones like 30 or 40 second ones. Give me a good minute and a half. But even in a minute and a half game trailer, like this, a teaser trailer, what the fuck is the point?
Well, I think in something like this, it's more to get the feel of the game itself, and not the gameplay, but like the theme.
Please explain to me please explain to me how in the world we got any fucking idea of how that game is played, or what it looks like in game. What we got was a cinematic.
Yeah, I'm not saying about the gameplay itself, but how kind of like the world and the
atmosphere.
The atmosphere. Thank you. Because you look at it, it's like, well, guys like kill me. You know what? I only got one shell, and you ain't worth it. So you get the kind of like the Fallout. I'm trying to think about any other games that were similar. Like Deus Ex was actually really bad for limited ammunition. Like seeing how limited that's going to be, and it's going to be kind of precious, so you don't want to just start blowing people away.
Okay, ferret guy. Okay, simple question. How did anything in that trailer tease or excite you? Seriously, can either of you answer that question? Like, in any of these teaser trailers that they keep pumping out for these games, right? To which me, as far as I'm concerned, is a waste of bandwidth and a waste of time, right? Really, what there was more than just a waste of time. Did anybody get teased or excited by what they saw there?
I'm more excited to like the anticipation of seeing what the actual game looks like, and the fact that it's coming. Like, because I kind of grew up on watching Mad Max 2, like Beyond the Thunderdome and all that kind of stuff. So it
anything beyond the first Mad Max was stupid and a waste of time.
Well, I was fairly young at the time, but I think it was no more than 10 at best, so it was entertaining nonetheless.
Okay, point taken, fair. Yeah, I get the vehicular manslaughter and all that good stuff, but still, I don't know. Maybe am I off on this? Like, am I being a little too hard on the industry for this stupidity?
if they labeled this as just not a teaser trailer, I'd be on board with you. But this is literally all it is a teaser, and like that's what the fair guy just said. Actually, it didn't show anything of substance. That's not the point of a teaser. Your minute and a half, 2 minute long trailers and gameplay trailers are going to be the ones you wait and look for to get a better feel for the game, or places like E3 where the people are streaming some of the gameplay, or even waiting till it's out.
What about you, Fioli? Sorry.
After watching that, I mean, going into it, I know I'm not going to be able to play it, but I like watching trailers and I love to see gameplay, and I just came out of that, minute and 45 seconds, very, very disappointed.
Why?
Because it's disappointing to me that it's for a game and there's no gameplay. I'm used to seeing gameplay. I want to see at least a little bit of it demonstrated. You don't even have to explain it. Just let me fucking see it, But not even like a little bit of it. It was just pure cinematics, like you said. So I'm disappointed.
Well, can you just imagine how Buzz Aldrin feels right now? And you have no idea where the fuck I'm going with that, do you?
Yeah, that was a leap.
Okay.
Leap? No, I know what he's saying. Apple, right?
Apple rejected a Buzz Aldrin designed game featuring Buzz Aldrin. And anybody who follows NASA and space and moon trips, Buzz Aldrin is one of the last surviving moon astronauts. The game, it's a mobile game from Slytherin, and apparently Ian McNeil he told this author that Apple have rejected Buzz Aldrin's Space Program Manager because the game contains well-known third parties.
Namely Buzz Aldrin?
Yes. Okay.
Really?
It's got his name in it. He helped design it. It's with all his permission, but it got turned down by Apple. Now, Buzz Aldrin's Space Program Manager has been in production at Polar Motion for a couple years with Slytherin publishing it. The game is meant to be a spiritual successor to the classic space sim Race into Space, and is being made with significant input from Buzz himself. For maximum clarity, this is a Buzz Aldrin endorsed game being made in part by Buzz Aldrin. But Apple says because there is third-party representation of him within the game, they're turning it down. Now, just so we know what we're talking about here, we have a clip from the game. All right? So let's have a look at Buzz Aldrin's Space Program Manager.
Go, no go for LOI. Retro.
We're go flight all the way.
Green light. Fido. We're go flight. Guidance. We're go with no attitude. Control. Telcom. GNC. Ecom, are you go? Surgeon.
We're go.
O&P. AFD. FAO. Go. Green light. Network. Okay, Capcom, give me a green light and we'll go for LOI.
Also going well with our count, we will stand by as we again bring hydrogen back to the third stage. We will see how that operates. We're now at T-minus 2 hours, 9 minutes, 4 seconds and counting.
So, We don't even see Buzzy Boy in this.
All engine running.
Granted, it's a
Liftoff.
trailer.
We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
What's
Liftoff on
happening?
Apollo 11.
It's one small
There he
step
is.
for
I
man,
guess that's him.
one giant leap for mankind.
So, that is the game that Apple turned down because of it contains well-known third parties.
And Nick actually made a really good point in chat. Isn't there a Tiger Woods Golf or something on iOS?
Yeah.
I think Apple's being a little bit too selective. And
Yeah, but here's the thing. Apple is known for its fucked up approval process. Okay? It's the most puritanical app store. And yet if you dig deep enough, you can find some pretty whacked out shit. So you got to wonder what the hell's going on. But what the fuck? Like, it says right on it that it's Buzz Aldrin's, apostrophe S, which means he owns it, Like, what do you think of what Apple is doing here, Fioli?
I think they're being very careful. They're trying to cover all their bases and making sure that no one's going to slam them or slam their third parties or whatever it is. They're trying to be careful. I don't know the intricacies of it, but it just looks to me like with all this, controversy and the internet, everybody can just say what they want and think, and advertising and all kinds of stuff goes into play. I guess they can't be too careful.
Oh, now, Nick, a lot of people buy apps on Android. Now, stop that, Apple boy.
I have an iPhone and I'm always on the Apple store. Always.
Yeah. And I do my fair share on the Android. But
that's Google Play, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Right.
I don't really know what to make of this because it's just another one of those. Oh, by the way, they go on to say that meanwhile, just a week ago, Apple approved a game taking the Mickey out of Kim Jong-un.
But didn't they reverse that rejection?
What, the one for the Buzz Aldrin?
No, for the...
No, they let in that one. They let it in.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
That's what weird. I'm saying. What is their guidelines?
They did something before that too, didn't they?
This is a common thing.
Yeah, they're trying to be really careful. Something's going on. Apple's all shook up from something. I don't know. It seems really weird. Something's off with them, I guess. They're trying to be careful about something.
Someone who isn't being careful is someone who likes spending $70 million for a home and selling off his game to a company he said he would never sell it off to. And I am, of course, talking about, Notch from Minecraft fame. Two things about him that I find rather interesting. Number one, Marcus Notch Pearson, who sold Mojang and the Minecraft franchise to Microsoft in September for $2.5 billion, now ranks at in the super rich with an estimated worth of $1.2 billion. So I'm thinking he doesn't have to really worry about not having the change in his pocket, go down to the store to buy a pack of smokes.
He'll never feel that pain.
Like, he outbid Jay-Z and Beyonce for a $70 million mansion and then proceeded to have I think it was in the range of a couple $100 million home, housewarming party.
Why not? I think it's hilarious that he beat those two out. Because the amount of money Beyonce and Jay-Z make off of music and the record label, and he's like, I'm going to outbid you.
Now, to put this in perspective, Bill Gates Bill Gates is back in the number 1 spot on the Forbes top rich people list. His total fortune is $79.2 billion, up $3.2 billion from last year. And this is the man who says that when he passes away, half of his fortune is going to charities. And his kids are getting next to nothing. Now, mind you, next to nothing of $79 billion
is a fortune to us.
It's still going to be a lot of fucking money. But the more interesting one that I found was there was, as part of that conversation that Forbes had, you know, or interview or story they had about Notch, was the story behind why the sale to Microsoft happened. And this is kind of interesting. Microsoft bought Mojang. I think, is that how you pronounce it? Mojang? The studio behind Minecraft, back in September. But the $2.5 billion acquisition originated in discussions that began months earlier, kicked off by one exasperated tweet from Marcus, or Notch. Back in June of 2014, Mojang announced its intention to start enforcing a clause in Minecraft's end-user license agreement stipulating that players could not charge for mods or items that affect gameplay. Right? And it's been like that since day one. This, I guess, I wasn't, privy to it, but it got a lot of people upset within the community. And that anger was directed at Notch. He apparently tweeted out, "Anyone want to buy my shares of Mojang so I can move on with my life? Getting hate for trying to do the right thing is not my gig." Apparently, the CEO of Mojang, Carl Manna, saw the tweet while at home and got a call from Microsoft within 30 seconds. An executive at the company wanted to know if Notch was serious. Manna heard from Electronic Arts, Activision, and others within the next week. Discussions with Activision didn't work out, and Pearson wouldn't say what happened with EA. I can just imagine what happened with EA. He told them to go fuck themselves. But here's the reason why Microsoft bought the game. Microsoft's main reason for pursuing the acquisition, according to Forbes, was a financial one: avoiding taxes. The company was sitting on an overseas cash reserve of $93 billion that it could not bring home to the U.S. without giving the government its cut in taxes. By purchasing Mojang for $2 billion, they depleted that cash reserve offshore to onshore that they didn't have to pay taxes on.
Sneaky. Very sneaky.
So everybody's, thought that, Microsoft was getting, going to, ruin the community, and then, all this kind of bullshit, and it was, the game and blah, blah, blah. It wasn't. It was pure and simple business. So what do you think of that? Of the fact that's how the whole sale came about, and B, the reason why. What do you think, Fioli?
This guy made Minecraft, right?
Yep.
And the fuck does it matter what I think?
No, I'm just curious. What do you think of like his reasons why? Like, what I find amazing is the fact that he literally just tweeted something out in a moment of frustration, and within 30 seconds, Microsoft's on the phone, going, "Is he serious?"
Well, I know that if that guy dropped less than a fraction of his money on the ground and I found it, it would change my life forever. So. I don't know. I think it's because it's his intellectual property and he wanted to do that with it, then that's his prerogative.
Oh, I'm not saying it isn't. I find it amazing that that's how the whole thing came about.
That is kind of amazing, but at the same time, that's the world we live in now. Everything's instant.
Very true.
Knowledge is instant. News is instant. You can watch somebody streaming live in Syria and watch the real news. You know, like, you think the news is bad here, just watch some streamers that are in some real shit, you know? That's just the opportunities. If you look in the right spot, you will find them, or they will find you. It's just all about how you put yourself out there, how open you are, how connected you stay.
What do you think, Red? What do you think of the whole thing?
I think it's hilarious. Like, like, I thought that, you know, Microsoft saw something in Minecraft and wanted to kind of put their money behind it and develop it further. Like, one of my major gripes is stop building it in Java.
Yes.
But seeing that it's simply just a tax evasion scheme, not surprised.
Nope. Big
corporations are all about money. If this saves them a couple billion down the road, who's to say they won't do it again? You know, what's going to be the next thing that they jump on overseas that they purchase?
What did you think of being actually a tweet that started the whole thing?
That's crazy. Like, the fact that it's just like he's venting his frustration and what's going on. It's like, you know what? I just want to do the right thing. I don't understand why you guys are bitching at me about it. And then a call comes in less than like half a minute after that.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Scary.
What Microsoft executive was paying that close attention to Twitter?
Yeah,
they saw that and responded as quickly as they did, because you can be guaranteed it was not a developer in Microsoft that saw it and made the phone call. For someone to make that kind of a phone call, you're talking C-suite, the executive suite.
Yep.
Right? And that kind of blows my mind as well. That, you know, is Microsoft, like, the executives paying that close attention to what's going on Twitter?
If they're smart, they will continue to do that.
Well, yeah, like, it was a good business. They were the right spot at the right time, and they scored. One thing I just got to switch screens, because there's an interesting story out that says PC gaming may be worth $35 million by 2018. I just want, because I've got to switch screens here, and just give me a second here, because I've got a graph. Global gaming software revenue, as you can see there, it's been climbing, and it's continuing to climb. And PCs are still leading the pack, and they look to continue leading the pack right up to 2019. The gaming industry is currently worth about $26 million. Game Business Group, Open Gaming Alliance, expects the number to grow by a massive amount by 2018, estimating a net worth of $35 million. The research indicates that the growing popularity, and this is the important stuff, okay? The important popularity of esport and the continued support of free-to-play games will be the main reason for PC gaming's success. The data also dictates that the peak of PC gaming will occur in 2018, with following a slow decline over 2019. In the past, now, everybody, like, I remember going back a few years, everybody was proclaiming that Asia would be the next big, huge market for PC sales. What they are finding actually is that in the past years, much of the growth of PC games has been due to adoption of the platform in Asia. Now we are estimating a potential of 86 million PC gamers outside of Asia that we have targeted as market growth drivers. So it's coming back.
World gone crazy!
Thank you for following Enigma. Greatly appreciate it. So we're seeing a resurgence in North America, and I would go by assumption Europe as well, with PC gaming being driven to a large degree by esports, and I would say as a sidestep, things like Twitch, with its massive growth. So what do you guys think of this kind of news?
I think it's good news to hear. And a lot of some of the trends, like looking at everything, it's not surprising. Like you're seeing handhelds slowly decline over the years, and phones and tablets increasing because they're mobile devices. They don't have to be just for games, but like having PC gaming grow like this, it doesn't surprise me, especially with what they're pointing at with esports, like League of Legends and Dota, Counter-Strike, StarCraft. Like all this kind of stuff is shifting people's focus on gaming, even on a wider mainstream level, which 10, 15 years wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, because every time it's funny. Every time I turn around, on Twitch and being even in Dizzy's stream, I'm seeing people coming in and they're talking about buying new computers, or they're buying and it's like they're always looking for recommendations of what to get because they want to be able to play the games. And I know that Fioli, like right now, and it still amazes me that you stream on this, but you're using a Surface, the Generation 1 Surface Pro. What is your driving reason to, other than the fact that, or maybe streaming is the reason, what's your driving reason to want to move back up to a full featured PC, and what kind of thing are you looking for?
I've never had a PC to play on.
Okay.
Before this, the last console I had was PS3, and it only lasted 3 months after I bought it, and that was it. I didn't have games or anything, and I had the 3DS for a little while, so that kind of kept me going, It's like, I love you, 3DS, you're amazing. And you can walk around with it, and then, you'll find friends. You just walk around with the Street Pass, and it connects automatically to other people, and then it gives you something else to do. So that's kind of been my lifeblood for gaming. But my whole reason into starting Twitch and getting involved with Twitch at all is so that it's my way of reaching out to the gaming community and saying, help me. For the love of God, help me. And it's working. It's working. I have really awesome headphones because somebody donated to me, and I've been saving the money that I'm earning just odd ends because I don't have a job. I don't work like in a supermarket or fast food or anything. And I've never gone to college either. I've just been really focused on my art, and that's what I do every day. I draw every day, all the time. Every time I get a free second, I'm drawing stuff.
And folks, she's one awesome artist too. And I've got the utmost respect because this lady, her link's in chat. Check her Twitch out because she streams using a Surface Pro. Granted, it's like the 16-bit, like 8-bit games, like the original Zelda and stuff like that. But if you're wanting a fix, I just find it awesome. But what do you think about this idea that we are seeing a resurgence in the popularity of PCs to the point where they are going to be a large portion of the gaming like the sales market?
I like it. I like it a lot. It means to me, and it shows me that the majority of people can have it. That most people will have computers, and computers are very important to have, I think, today. Very, very important to have, because the internet is such an important tool connecting to other people people and getting to those opportunities, not just in gaming, but in general in life and everything. So I like it. I like it a lot. As far as gaming goes, I just hope they hold on to some of the old school ways, like the game designs, and don't go like too crazy. Like you say with the virtual reality stuff, like maybe they should kind of go more towards the augmented reality, because that would make more sense.
I agree with you on that. I really do.
To me, it just makes more sense and also looks more comfortable, sounds more comfortable.
What about you, Red? What do you think?
I totally zoned out there for a second. Well, like I said, I think that this kind of trend is it's positive. Like Philly's right. You see, and you guys are both right. Actually, you're seeing a lot more people, focus on the PC market, buying new computers, setting them up. Like how I put mine together by myself and one of my close friends back in the summer, because all I had was a crappy laptop that barely could run Minecraft, let alone World of Warcraft. So you're seeing a lot more people get that itch to either build their own or buy a good gaming computer to be able to get in at least on a ground floor level in some of these higher end games, which require a lot more hardware than what they used to. But I don't know, like it's like a lot of the growth chart, it makes sense the way things are moving. And like I said, I like it. I've always been a PC gamer aside from the consoles, so I like seeing it going up on top.
Yeah, I've never been I never even got an Xbox 360. I think until about, let me see, it would be in a year and a half before my wife passed away. So about 4 years ago now, and I got it mainly for her so that she could watch Netflix easily and so on and so forth. It wasn't a matter of playing games on it, except when my grandson came over, and he would use it nonstop. But I've always been a PC gamer, always, and I know that there was that period where people were saying, PC gaming's toast. We got the mobile market, we've got consoles, we got the Ouya, and then the Steam OS, and we got all this going. PCs are going to be toast, and I'm going, yeah, okay. Meanwhile, you guys are all coming back in asking for recommendations of hardware to buy. Yeah, okay. Tell me about it.
Yeah, anyone who says that PC gaming is dying or going to die off or whatever, they're full of it. You can go out and buy a new console or spend twice the amount of a console and get a computer that can run a lot more and sometimes even have more horsepower than like your PS4 or your Xbox. Like that's the kind of trade-off.
The thing that gets me, and I know this is kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent, because like we've got a couple of them later on in the show. We see a lot of, and I know this has been kind of really blew out because of the console wars, the idea of exclusive games. Okay, like PC gamers, we've never really had to worry about, like up until consoles really kind of blew up. We never had to worry about exclusive games. It all came to us. That's who it was designed for. But now we're seeing games like absolutely fucking gorgeous games, but they're being brought to market specifically for a specific brand of console, whether it be PS4, PS3. Xbox 360, and then maybe some point they might consider doing a PC version, GTA 5. What do you think of this whole thing of exclusivity for A, consoles, and then B, console brands? Is it good for gamers? Is it good for the market? Is it just really a matter of it's only good for the console maker?
I think it's a lot of the exclusivity stuff is really benefiting consoles or specific consoles. Like Nintendo has their specific brands that will not shoot off of anything but their hardware, like your Mario, Metroid, Zelda. Like, I would kill to have something like Zelda or Metroid, like Metroid Prime for PC, because I think they would work really well. And I've missed out on those because I haven't had a Nintendo system since the GameCube. So it in a way, it kind of hurts the gaming market when you funnel something into just one area. Whereas like you get some games like, GTA 5 finally coming to PC is allowing the company who made it, the Rockstar, to get more profits out of it by branching out. And usually I think a lot of their issues with doing multiple platforms is multiple hardware they have to code for, and the varying differences between them all that they have to worry about. I think that's the main sticking point, and why a lot of them will stick to console only or just one, because it's laziness. It's less work for them.
What do you think, Violi?
For the game industry, I think it's great. A variety is the spice of life. Gotta have a variety, and if I didn't have the games to play with the mobile and the handhelds, I wouldn't have had games. So I can't betray them like that,
But what like the idea that a game comes out exclusive for let's say the PS4, or comes out exclusive for the Xbox
I have a great
One.
example for you.
Okay.
I want the new Zelda that's going to be coming out for the Wii U, and I know that I won't be able to play it when it comes out. It's going to be like it's going to be my ordeal with Skyrim all over again. But when this game comes out for the Wii U, I can't have it, so. But it's for only that console. It's only for the Wii U. I'm just like, why, Nintendo? Why do you keep doing this to me?
And this is also... sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I talk too much.
I think this is also a problem with iOS and Android. You'll see a lot more apps or games specifically designed for the iOS realm, whereas you might see it down the road for Android or never see it. And a lot of it is because of the Android platform is fragmented. There are many different hardware that use Android. Samsung, HTC, LG, like everything is different. Every piece of hardware in those phones is different. So it's kind of like making a game for a PC. You have to be able to figure out compatibility issues between all the potential hardware combinations that you could run into. And I think that's where you'll see the exclusives go, because they don't have to worry about, again, different framework, different architecture behind the hardware that they're designing it for.
So the gamers lose.
The gamers lose in that respect, because there have been many games that have been on iOS only that I cannot get because I'm an Android guy. And, the companies lose my money and I lose out on the experience.
Do you think it'll ever change? Do either of you think that whole mentality will change, and that we will get gaming parity across platforms, or are we just like smoking something that we shouldn't be? Either of you?
Like I said, variety is the spice of life. If you don't have variety, then it's not the same. And if they want to do console exclusive games, there are so many games. It's like breaking up with a boyfriend. There's many fish in the sea. You just gotta look and deal with what you got.
Oh God, we've been equated with games there, Red. What do you think? Do you think we'll ever see that time?
I hope so. I really hope that we see a break from the exclusive markets. Like, there are certain things that are going to be exclusive. Nintendo is always going to have their tight grip on their franchises. But
well, there was there was the rumor, especially when Nintendo was having a little bit of financial problems, and which they still are, that the board was actually looking at the possibility, especially with some of their older titles, of opening it up, of porting them to like Android or iOS. And now nothing's come of it since, but there is obviously if those kind of rumors are out there, this is something that they're thinking of. Well, because really, when it comes down to it, with Nintendo, what's their value? It's their IP. It's their game IPs. That's their value. Because they haven't been doing great in the marketplace as far as games and consoles. They're getting their ass kicked.
As far as I'm concerned, the last two console wars or generations, they didn't enter a gaming marketplace.
No,
they didn't. Anytime they were first to market, but they were also the least powerful on the market. First to market doesn't mean anything when you can't compete with the big boys. And I'm sorry, if there's Nintendo fanboys here, I'm sorry to you guys, but Nintendo has jumped the shark and lost it for the last 5-6 years, easily.
Yeah, I love
haven't
Nintendo,
been good.
But they should have just, took a note from Disney and made their own park, and maybe they wouldn't, I would totally go to Nintendo Land. I mean, don't tell me none of you would, because I know you guys go in a heartbeat if it was down the street. But I mean, like Disney World, Nintendo Land, not some little part.
So see here, Nick and the Fair Guy make valid points on one thing. The Wii won in sales number, as in hardware sold, not money made.
Yep.
Because it's dirt cheap, and it's exactly the point. It's a cheap console, and it's a lot of people had a high demand for it.
On an average,
whoa! What's a cheap console?
What sale, like price-wise, compared to what their investment is?
Which one though, the Wii or the Wii U?
Well, in case it's both, but
I didn't hear you. That's why I said, whoa.
Like, it's a well-known fact that when you, especially when you launch a new console, you're looking at prices of what, $400 or $500 depending on who it is, but they quickly knock that price down to the point where they lose money. They lose anywhere from $100 to $200 per console sold for the first year and a half to 2 years. As a matter of fact, the Xbox 360 didn't actually start making money as a console until almost 4 or 5 years in.
And that's typical for most console
exactly.
generations.
So you can have great sales numbers, but if it doesn't show up in your balance sheet, your stockholders aren't happy. And that's the problem that Nintendo's had, because to try and compete against Microsoft and Sony, they have taken such a beating on their balance sheet to try and get the Wii and the Wii U out there that they've lost money.
They shouldn't have sold it for so much.
Well, I think this happens every time a new console comes out. They make their initial money on software and games, but again, the Wii and the Wii U, the Wii especially, when you look at the game selection, the Wii U market in terms of games was filled with shovelware, like just crap games that I wouldn't even want to touch with a 10-foot pole and someone else pushing, like. They have their quality games, don't get me wrong, and there's been a couple of games that came out late. I think, is it Eternal Darkness or something like that back in N64 GameCube days, where it was one of the first mature rated games that hit the console, and it came out like a year after PS2 and whatever, the same generation. But again, there's nothing, at least in my opinion, there is nothing on Nintendo's lineup that warrants me going out wasting money on this console to get the games. Like Smash Brothers, Zelda, everything. As much as I love the franchises, I will not waste my money on filth. And that is exactly what the Wii's are to me.
Light Ray says in the chat that DS handheld beat PS Vita. That's not saying much, because the Vita is a piece of shit.
Get me wrong, DS, I got a 2DS, and that thing is a solid piece of hardware. Great unit. But again, like there's a lot of the games I have are old classics. Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Trigger, like the new reimagining of Link to the Past for Zelda, with the go flatten the walls nonsense. Those are the games I have. It's all mostly classic type stuff, none of the new ones. So, like I said, they're not innovating and pushing the barriers like everyone else is.
Yeah. All right.
Well, to be fair, they made something 3D that you don't have to wear glasses. That in and of itself is impressive and gives me a headache. But as much as it gives me a headache, it's impressive that they broke that barrier. So I gotta hand it to Nintendo for at least that. At least that.
You know, when I think of Nintendo, all I can think of is Super Mario. None of their other titles even register with me. Super Mario is the only one that even registers. And I know that they're responsible for Zelda and a lot of other good titles, and I think they're kind of going off the rails with Zelda as far as I'm concerned from what I've seen. I don't know. I just think that they're getting too caught up in this whole open world nonsense with, you know, and excessive graphics, and I think it's taking away from the Zelda experience.
But I want to see it.
Well, no,
I want to see it too. Don't get me wrong.
I'm sorry, but I want to see that so bad. When they say Skyrim-sized world, I just about peed myself.
Yeah,
that's just amazing.
You think in Nintendo when you see Mario in your head? I think of Lost Opportunity, and the one that really it pisses me off from when I was a kid being a Nintendo fanboy is the loss of the Final Fantasy franchise. They had the first 6 and whatever other offshoots, and then Sony ended up getting Final Fantasy from there on. I think it was the GameCube and the PS2 era. Or the PS1 era, if they had actually had hardware that could handle what Square Enix was doing next, they would have held on to it. They would have had another exclusive franchise. And these are amazing games, but they lost control.
Yeah, see, this is also the company...
I don't know if that's much of a loss, because Final Fantasy just...
Well, now, yeah. That era, Final Fantasy was the prime example of a good RPG, at least for consoles. PCs had way better, but it's another story.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to take a 5-minute break, folks. We got to, refresh the drinks and take care of some business. Turn the music up a little bit. But in the meantime, if you like what you've seen tonight, you enjoy the conversation, you're enjoying yourself in chat, please consider hitting that old follow button down there, just in case you haven't yet, because lets us know we're doing something right. So we will be back in 5.
Hey, it's me, Destin. Welcome back to Smarter Every Day. I know when you think about archery, you think about Nottingham, and one guy in particular, Robin Hood. But I'm going to tell you about a guy today in my hometown that might even be better than Robin Hood. Get smarter every day. Hey, he might.
Better than Robin Hood.
He might be. Let's check it out. We'll see. You gonna agree with me, Miss Wanda?
I will.
For years in high school, I heard about this famous archer in town that could hit anything you threw at him. And now, I'm at his house drinking his sweet tea.
I shot that moose in Newfoundland.
This is Byron Ferguson. He and his wife travel all over the world doing exhibition shooting at live events. I politely asked if what I heard was true and if I could make a slow motion video about what he does.
So, Byron, do you want to tell him what we're going to do today?
Well, what we're going to do today is some exhibition shooting, starting with a wooden disc tossed up in there, and then we'll see what the smallest target is we can hit.
All right.
First, we got to get this wood disc.
Start with a wood disc, work our way down. We've got a Phantom Miro. That's kind of why I'm here. I'm running the high-speed camera. So let me get to that.
Impressive, but let's quantify exactly how difficult that was. In geometry, there's an equation for something called circle packing. It's a way to determine how many little circles of a certain size you can fit inside of a bigger circle. You can pack 310 arrows into the presented area of the wooden disc. The next target cuts the circle packing number down from 310 to only 55.
How did Daddy convince you to throw stuff for him the first time?
I had no choice. He told me to do it, so I had to.
Alright, he hit that too. Let's cut the circle packing number down from 55 to 21. According to geometry, this is over twice as hard. Okay, how's he doing this? I can understand how a modern archer can do this with a compound bow because he has a really complicated sighting system. The archer looks at the sighting pins at the front of the bow using a peep sight that's attached to his string in the back. These pins are aligned based on a bunch of different ballistic variables like the tension of the bow and the weight of the arrow, etc. Byron Ferguson does not shoot a modern bow. He shoots a longbow that he designs himself, and he doesn't have any form of sights on it. His brain is like a ballistic fire control computer. It's not just about accuracy though, it's also about timing. Once he figures out where the target is going to be, then he has to be accurate enough and well-timed enough with a 70-pound bow to hit that target. So he can hit a golf ball. Let's go to something over 4 times more difficult. A lifesaver. This is amazing, but we are at our last option. A single aspirin tablet. Alright. Finally, a miss. Well, kinda. According to the high speed, his accuracy was dead on. You can see that the aspirin tablet jumped straight up from the arrow shaft, which means he was lined up perfectly. His timing, however, was off by a whopping 8 milliseconds. Obviously, this is still super impressive. Byron, however, is disappointed and asked me if he could do it again. The rumors were true. There's a guy from my hometown in Alabama that can literally hit anything you throw at him with a bow and arrow. Let's see what he has to say about how he does it.
People ask me all the time, how can you hit an aspirin tablet? Because I'm shooting at the center. The center of an aspirin tablet is exactly the same size as the center of a beach ball. You always shoot at the center.
The center of an aspirin tablet is the exact same size as the center of a beach ball.
Correct.
It's just a point, isn't it?
A very minute point.
Pretty awesome.
And we're back. You know, one of the things I love about doing this show, and it's not so much our conversation, but it's when I get a chance to yeah, turn on the mic, Steve. Turn on the mic. There we go. Turn on the mic. Yes, we got that. Why am I always the one that seems to forget to do that when I'm the one that tells everybody to do it? I don't know. Anyway, one of the things I really enjoy about doing this show is the conversations we have here, between the three hosts and the news that we share and the videos we share, it's a lot of fun. But when I get a chance to sort of take a look at what's happening in chat, these guys are having a great time talking about what? Games.
Yes.
And that is awesome, and I love it. So you guys, you might think we're negative, and I, Nick, I saw what you had to say, dude, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your point of view, but also understand that part of the reason we do this is because we are passionate about the things we believe, about the games we love, about the effect it has on our world, the things we think are screwed up about the business, or and not everything's going to be positive. Some's going to be negative. It's our opinions, and just as I appreciate yours, and I am so glad to see you here every night. You and everybody else that has made this your home, or it sure seems that way. every night, and you join us, and I thank you for that. I really, really do. Guild Wars 2 is headed out with an expansion coming up called Heart of Thorns, and I picked up Guild Wars 2 just not too long ago, and I've gotten up. I think I'm not sure how far up I am in my character, but I love it. I actually like it better than I do WoW, to be honest. I like the graphics better. I like the way it basically walks you through your quests, and granted, I'm early on, and I'm still learning the game, so there's that process too. But the Heart of Thrones that's coming is doing a couple things different. There is no cap increase, no level increase. There's no addition of new worlds. What they are doing instead, let me put it this way, as AreaNet has said, it's really important to recognize the work players put into their characters, to invalidate that and say, well, now you've got to reach a new goal. We don't think that's fair. We really like to think of Guild Wars 2 as the journey being the goal, not the level cap. Now, I know you're a WoW player, Red. And I'm not sure, you've never played WoW. Oh, no, you did, for what, 2 days. What do you think of that statement alone? Before we even get into the stuff to do with the expansion. Because that's a departure from an MMO standard. The standard is you have an expansion, which means your levels go, your cap goes up, and you have a whole new world to trash and burn.
The whole world gone crazy!
Thank you, Woo, for the follow.
See, I don't know if I would like this in particular. Like, yeah, I understand the point they're trying to reach on this, but like with Warlords of Draenor, you're getting more story, and especially with the whole Garrison ideal is that you're no longer the hero that doesn't get any recognition. You're now commander, garrison chief, and you're the guy that people follow, and you're the leader. Like it's like after 10 years of playing, it's like finally someone recognizes I've beaten the crap out of all these people.
Here's the thing, Red. That's not gonna expand past this expansion in WoW.
Yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have to. It's part of the story and part of the growth of that, your character developing in those 10 levels or plus. Like not adding anything content wise in terms of whether it's a level cap, a new area to explore, or what have you. I personally don't feel like there's going to be more to build on the character and the story. I could be all wrong. This could be more of a role-playing focused game, which is not my thing in an MMO. But
okay, well they went on to say without a level cap increase, Heart of Thorns has to offer progression in another form. You'll find that in masteries, a new set of skills that can be learned and developed using points rewarded by quests. You can drop points into the mastery system however you feel, either focusing on a specific trait or gaining a broad but limited knowledge of all of them. It allows the player the agency to figure out how they want to level themselves in ways that work with their own playing style, that meets the needs of the kind of things they want to explore.
This reminds me of EverQuest's alternate advancement system. At least to me.
Talking of choices, they're a key element of Hearts of Thorn's new profession, the blindfolded revenant. Arguably the game's most exciting class, it's a heavily armored mystical warrior with the ability to channel the spirits of legendary personalities from the Guild Wars history. With the revenant, you get a spectrum of complexity. Jalus is a much more straightforward kind of character, and Malix is more intricacy. When channeling Jalis, you are able to use several hefty dwarven-themed art attacks, such as wrapping enemies in a chain to slow them down and taunt them, or hurling hammers around you in a cyclone. Swap out to Malix, and things are a little different, because Malix was an enemy in the original Guild Wars. Okay? As an enemy boss from the original games, he's less happy that you're using his abilities and punishes you for doing so. Whilst powerful, using them will always have a trade-off. They'll cripple, blind, or torment you with every cast. It makes combat exciting, and being able to swap between them at any time keeps battle significantly more fluid. With all your skills on cooldown, you can simply swap to another spirit to continue casting. Now, they are launching the expansion with just these 2 spirits for the Revenant. But as time goes by, they're going to be adding more from the game's past as additional spirits that the Revenant can channel. Now, I know you don't have the equipment right now, Fioli, but when, and I'm saying when, all right, not if, but when you do, is Guild Wars and the style of MMO, is it more of an interest to you than, let's say, World of Warcraft? No? That's a good, simple answer. Good, simple answer. Just, the MMO style just doesn't appeal to you at all?
It does. It does a lot, but it seems to only appeal to me through the Guild, the show that Felicia Day did. And for me, it's that. The game is just the game. It's the people you play with. It's that group. And I don't have that group, you know?
Yeah.
So the MMO just doesn't fit for me, and I've never really jumped into one. The only MMO I played thoroughly was EverQuest.
Was that because you were a part of a guild, or you did it on your own?
I did it with my Uncle Mark,
okay,
who also taught me how to play D&D and played Risk with me all the time.
So, Red, nothing in this has got you interested in Guild Wars 2?
Well, I won't say it's not interesting. It's the alternate advancement system, or however they want to call it, just sounds familiar to me because it's been done. But again, it's a matter of how they implement it and how the game plays, because I don't have any experience aside from Guild Wars 1 back in the day, and WoW kind of captivated me more, but I still have friends who are clamoring to get me into this game. So
yeah, I'm one of them.
I think down the road, if I might pick it up and at least give it a try, because you buy the game and you have a subscription technically for life. So
yep,
it'd be worth it if I get tired of WoW and I would need something different.
One of the things we've been experiencing this past year and near the tail end of last year is some really troubled launches. And one of those was Battlefield 4. It probably had one of the worst launches of the Battlefield franchise. If what I've read and what I've seen, streamers that I know and respect who play it heavily, they were not happy with its launch. That hasn't stopped DICE from fixing it. Obviously they have to if they want to keep the franchise alive. And apparently, I guess there is the winter patch is coming with a heavy esports focus. Surprise?
No.
Okay. This new game mode is called Squad Obliteration, and the more customization options for the game's user interface. Some of the stuff that's in store for, and I'm not going to read them all, but what I'll do is I'll throw the the link in chat so you guys can go through it in depth if you want to. But under general improvements, we've got things like added squad obliteration game mode, added support for new player servers, various anti-cheat improvements implemented. In-combat system now temporarily disables medic bag healing based on damage taken and incoming suppression increase. Decouple vehicle aiming from turning option added. Added 3 new premium playlists, large-scale battles, the battlefield, and close quarters. Fixed several AMD mantle optimizations, various graphical performance improvements, some stuff for PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360 got some stuff. There's some audio fixes, new art, some fixes to the interface, vehicle fixes, weapons, which everybody loves when it comes to this game, animation updates for the M412 and the SW30, fixed an audio bug with the air missiles, fixed an audio bug with the FAC boat cannons, and a bunch of other stuff. Now I'm not a Battlefield 4 player. I'm just not. I would be permanently on the ground dead. You know, headshot, permanently. And I know you aren't, and I somehow I just don't. You don't strike me as a Battlefield 4 type player. No.
Good. I'll take that as a compliment.
You do that. What about you, Red? Are you a closet Battlefield fan?
Battlefield 3, yes. Battlefield 4 never picked up, especially after I heard all the launch horror stories. But there is one thing that made me kind of tweak my eye at with the in-combat system now temporarily disables medic bag healing. So if you're taking fire and being suppressed, you drop a medic bag, it does nothing, is what it sounds like to me.
Well,
which is counterintuitive to a medic bag.
What does this do? Nothing.
Doesn't do a fucking thing at all. Just sits there on the ground.
The goggles, they do nothing.
What do you think of this habit we have now with games where they launch, there's problems with them, and they spend the next year patching the shit out of them to fix them? I don't think that's fair to the gamer. I think the gamer's being hurt financially because they put their money out expecting a good, complete game. We won't even get into the fact of the DLCs, shipping on the, as part of the package.
On the disc.
Yeah. But what do you think of this habit now with the big, and this is a lot of this is AAA titles that we're seeing this with.
Fuck sympathy.
Yeah,
thank you, Nick. I appreciate it, dude, very, very much.
I think it's more of a problem that we have series of games that we expect to have bugs when it comes out. I think that's a greater problem. I understand that you're going to have to patch things in or bugs you could not find during testing phase. That's going to happen. I've lost count how many times that something went on a test server in WoW, went perfectly flawlessly, and then as soon as it goes live, goes to the machine, pops out and says, "Hey, I'm a bug. You missed me." So I'm not surprised, but stuff like Skyrim and Fallout, especially anything Bethesda creates, guaranteed to be buggy when it comes out, but I will still buy it because I know that going in, and I know it's going to get fixed. And I think
Thank you, Red Mage, for putting monetary value where it belongs.
But the thing is, if with a game like Skyrim, when people like myself and a lot of the other people who will clock 200, 300, 400 hours in the game, what's $20 to $60 when you spend that much time invested in the game and have that much enjoyment?
Yeah, but shouldn't you expect the game? Okay, yeah, bugs are going to happen. Look, I'm an ex-developer. I know bugs can happen. Believe me, I know bugs can happen, right? But where's your Q&A? Where's your testing? Because some of this shit should never have let the game out the door.
Yeah, and
Well,
go ahead, Felix.
Yeah, go ahead.
The other testing is their gamers on into it. We all have that responsibility to pay attention to the community and what's going on with the certain games and feel, self-aware. We have that responsibility to be aware, at least, of ourselves and what we have the power over. And me, I know what not to buy because, one, I know it won't work on my PC, but two, it'll be that I play in a game that other people have played. So really, we should be looking to the community and those who do have the money to buy things right away before we just jump on stuff. We're very excitable. Games are very fun, so I understand, but I can't. As someone who can't afford to just buy anything right away, I really, really enforce that you pay attention to the reviews of the gamers themselves.
Red?
And that's where we really have to just rely on each other with that, and help each other out.
I agree, and I think that's one thing I think is good about Twitch, because you can see the games being played, and if you look at the gamers who are thank you, can you that's as far as I'm going on that.
The whole world gone crazy!
Thanks, Kaza. Yes, that's as far as I'm going on that one too. The thing I like I said, I like about Twitch is that if you're interested in a game, and this goes to your point, you have a responsibility to your money. You're spending it wisely, and you're not going to feel like you're getting rooked in the end. Read the review. Now, I'm a little hesitant about reading reviews because a lot of them, you got to really be careful where you're getting reviews from.
Uh-huh.
On Twitch, it's a little easier because
the whole world gone crazy.
Thank you, Vegard. You can, like, for example, if you want to know about Battlefield 4, you go to Sacriel. Okay? You're going to get a good Battlefield gamer who does not like dealing with shit game. Because I remember when he played Battlefield 4 on launch, he was not fucking happy at all. Right? And yeah, there's certain gamers you got to be really careful of on Twitch who are doing it for the money, and you know who they are. Right?
I was just about to say,
yes.
If someone's getting paid to do reviews, it's not a good idea to listen. Sure, watch, but don't touch.
Yeah.
Well,
who was it that did the Assassin's Creed Unity stream?
Oh, I don't remember the name, but I remember hearing about it.
What was it? Total Biscuit, or was it Giant Waffle? I think it was one of the big boys. And
it might have been both. I would be surprised.
And he was getting paid to stream it. And he said, I can't do this. He just couldn't do it. It was that bad. But people still went out and bought the damn game, and I don't understand that.
Some people are just not going to listen to reason or anything. And
the whole world gone crazy!
To put on Felix's point about the customer base being the test bed, I think Battlefield 3, right now have Battlefield Hardline. I'm not sure if Battlefield 4 did the same. They had multiplayer betas on before launch, all of them at least. And I was part of Battlefield 3's multiplayer beta as well as Hardline for Xbox, and that's a good way for them to kind of flesh out the bugs in multiplayer, get your server load tested, get other bugs and other things caught that, frankly, people who sit in QA and do the same thing over and over and over in repetition every day might not catch because they're used to going in patterns and just doing certain things. It's one thing to do QA, but I think that when you take a game to a wide customer base who have their hands on it, they will do things you did not intend. and
Yeah.
they will find bugs that you were never
Well,
expecting.
yeah, like I said, I'm an ex-developer. I've been down this road, not in games, but I mean in financial software and point of sale software and database software. And trust me, if the asshole out there can find and break your program, they will fucking do it, and quicker than you can shake a stick at, right? And so I understand the difficulty that the game developers face. I really do. But I think there comes a point where you have a responsibility, not to your shareholders, fuck them. You have a responsibility to the gamers that are forking over their money to at least deliver a product that's 95%. Okay? I can accept a 5% bug problem. Okay? Because some of them are really esoteric. Some of them are really difficult to track down. But when you've got a game where you're, like for example, and I will use H1Z1, where you walk in and the zombie just stands there looking at you, and you smack him around, and he just stands there looking at you. I'm sorry, you've got a fucking problem.
Yeah,
that game should not have launched, right?
No.
And Assassin's Creed Unity, when half the person you're talking to is not there, you've got a problem. And I come out on the side of the gamer on this. You want my money, no problem. But give me a game that's that is not so fucking bug ridden. Is that really too much to ask?
Not at all. And for Diablo 3, that was one of the main reasons I waited it out. And especially when I heard it was going to be always online DRM. I'm like, okay, let's see how this works out. And, they had their problems, and like now they've kind of redeemed themselves, and the game, even without the expansion, plays really well. But again, it's a matter of, for me, I'd rather wait until it's out and see if it's worth getting. Is it bugged out? Because if it's not and it's not playable, it ain't worth my money.
Yeah.
Like the only ones I'll dive blindly into is anything Elder Scrolls, simply because I have a very long track record with that series.
What do you think about that whole, like, I know you place a lot of faith in the community, like the gaming community around the game, Fioli. But what do you
no,
okay.
I don't place a lot of faith in them. I just watch and see and try not to spend anything if I don't have to.
Should gamers become even more involved in the follow-up to the releases of games by, because a lot of them, a lot of people, they bitch and complain about the bugs or whatever, but how many of them actually take the time to document how that bug occurred and submit it so that they can be fixed? Because I'll tell you, you cannot fix bugs unless you know exactly how to reproduce it. And especially when it comes to the really esoteric ones that are deep down in code. So, is it our responsibility to a certain extent, to, once the game is released?
Yes. As gamers, as people who want to game and enjoy games, and especially if we're interested in that kind of game that's being pitched to us, it's like, I don't know if it's NASA or Discovery, but they started a Eyes on the Universe program where you can just download something and you can look around the solar system and keep watch of everything that's going around and look for stars and help NASA explore the universe or something. And that's like them saying, hey, this is a really big universe and we need some fucking help. So with games, it's like there's not one person is going to think of everything. And if you have just a few people on a team putting a game together for the first time or the second time, and they need help and we're there and we like games, then we should do it, I think that we don't look to each other enough to make things happen, and some people just want, and that's all they want. They just want more and more. They don't do anything to contribute or help anything, They're just useless.
By the way, thank you, Joseph, for the follow, and thank you, the Ferret Guy, for the donation, man. I really, you don't know how much I appreciate those nods that you give us. Speaking of nods, we got to give one to Unreal Tournament, especially the new one that's being built by the community of Unreal fans and gamers and coders, because it's free. They just announced today that the Unreal Engine is free now, but that doesn't mean that a powerful what the hell is this? A collaborative community project that is the Unreal Tournament has been opened up as a result of UE4's dropped subscription. To celebrate, it received a new update that adds the game's first high-res textured map, Outpost 23. We have a bit of a look at it. It's not overly long, but it's looking pretty sweet. High-res graphics in Unreal Tournament.
So Epic Games have just released a new update to the Unreal Tournament, which is its first high-textured map, which looks absolutely amazing, by the way. Running around this thing looks incredible.
Holy crow.
Not only that, is that Epic Games have released the Unreal Engine completely free now. You don't have to pay for that subscription charge anymore. Anybody can get it, download it, and start making content for the new Unreal Tournament, whether you want to help build weapon skins, maps, mods, whatever you want, or even your own game. You can go ahead and do that for free now, as well as play the new Unreal Tournament pre-alpha, so you can go and download this game right now. But bear in mind, it's a pre-alpha, it's still got bugs and kinks and stuff, so very early days for Unreal Tournament.
Looks fucking nice.
Anyways, I'll let the rest of the video talking. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I do all kinds of Unreal Tournament content on my channel, so stick around if you're interested in that.
And I got into this last week, and this is a fun game too.
Who'd you get in with?
Well, I got the Unreal Tournament Alpha that they released?
Oh yeah.
I went 30-8 or 30-12 or something my first run in. It's fun. It's so fast playing. I love it. I miss this kind of play style.
Well, Unreal Tournament did kind of set the standard for this.
Oh yeah, no cover system, no regenerating health, no shields, just run and blast them. I love it.
So, what do you think of the new graphics then? Are they?
That is pretty. I have a feeling my computer's going to chug a little bit on it, but it might choke a bit. But I don't care. It looks really good.
Yeah, like the Ferret Guy says, it is not a kind of game that absolutely does not forgive mistakes.
Yep.
I remember I remember playing the original Quake, and I remember goofing around in QT. I was never good at it, but I loved playing Quake. Quake was an awesome game. I would love to see them bring that same quality to Quake.
Oh yeah, Quake is awesome.
Like if there was a game to give the Doom franchise a run for its money, it was Quake.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that's actually the first video game that I got my mother to purchase when it was like a mature rated game when I was like 13. I justified it and I got it, and it was I played Doom, I played Wolfenstein back in the day, and that was just awesome. Plus all the mods that they had. There was actually a Mario Kart-esque or Carmageddon-like racing mod for Quake, which I never got a chance to play, but Team Fortress got its start in Quake, and it's as far as I'm concerned, it's the best version of it.
Yeah. I've got one for the artist Fioli to have a look at. I think you will like this one from an artistic point of view because it is absolutely gorgeous. You will probably appreciate it, read from the information that is in this post, because it's really fucking unique. The one I'm talking about is a game called No Man's Sky. We've been starting to hear a little bit of buzz about it, building up and building up and building up. And this is not the first video I've seen of this, but it is probably, it's a good representation of how beautiful this game is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the video first, so you guys get an idea of what we're talking about when we get to the gist of this. This is
Hey, it's me, Destin. Welcome back to Smarter Every Day.
Sorry,
I know when you
wrong
think about
screen.
archery, you think about Nottingham, and one guy in particular,
I got
Robin Hood.
sidetracked there, guys.
But
Sorry
I'm
about
gonna tell you
that.
about a guy today in my.
Don't like jerks. Here's the trailer.
Whoa.
This game is incredible. Kind of like the music too.
Wow, and seamless.
It's reminding me of Rodina.
All the different shifts, dude. This is wild.
Oh, it's.
This is just fucking amazing.
I'm gonna agree with Doc Steele. This needs to be on PC.
Yes. Please.
I hate to break your heart.
I know. I think I might actually have to buy a PS4 down the road.
Sorry, I can't. I won't. One thing though, I would love to watch this in a big IMAX. I am just imagining myself in this IMAX theater and watching this.
That is a thing you can do too. Like, I'm not sure if it's available anywhere else. You can rent a theater to play video games in for a couple hours.
No.
Yes.
Do you have to be a celebrity to afford that though?
I don't think so, but you get a few buddies together. I think it's like $200. Something like
Oh,
that.
that's not so bad. Cause I can't grammar. Oh.
Yeah, I will later, Jamie. I'll get it for you.
It's a weird animal. Shoot it.
beyond beautiful. And everything else about it's beautiful too.
Now, do we get a date? Do we get a date?
Nope.
I wish they would do something for mobile like that.
So, how does that speak to the artist in you?
It's exactly what I want out of a sci-fi game. Like, there was a once upon a time I thought Homeworld was that. And I was wrong. It was something else. But I downloaded this demo of a game called Rodina, and I fell in love with it because you could just take off into space, travel anywhere you wanted in the universe or maybe a solar system, but it was huge. And when you got to the planet, you just were on the planet and you land, and then you can walk around, build ships and everything. It's just the coolest thing ever. So
Okay.
I would love it.
Now, let's get to the more technical aspects of this. No Man's Sky is so big, the developers built space probes to explore it for them. There is a robot that lives inside No Man's Sky that nobody outside of the development team may ever see, because its entire purpose is to fly to each of the game's 18 quintillion worlds, take short videos, and document its interstellar travels in a series of animated GIFs.
God.
Okay?
Quintillion?
Quintillion.
That's the thing now?
Yes. Now, the problem that the probe is designed to solve is one that hits artists particularly hard. When every atom is procedural, developers must, by definition, lose control. Duncan learned to embrace this, at least in part, out of the necessity to create a universe with planets numbering in the quintillions, a number so big that he admits it's being entirely meaningless to the human mind. Thus, the autonomous robot and the idiotic team of virtual art directors that keep tabs on the unfathomable number of celestial bodies, their flora, their fauna, their geography, and their indigenous creatures. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Now, to invent these alien worlds, the developers took inspiration first and foremost from something that might seem surprising. Not games, not movies, not sci-fi novel covers, but the real world. Hello Games wanted No Man's Sky to be grounded in the believability of the real world, Duncan said, which is already filled with bonkers and crazy things, whether animal, vegetable, or mineral. And if they wanted players to explore their creation, and they do, they had to make their universe and everything in it interesting and strangely familiar. To populate this alternate reality, artists created seeds, the essential part of plants and animals and geographic locations. Trees have trunks and leaves. Animals have bone structure. Spaceships have cockpits. Buildings have doors, windows, and roofs. They then threw those seeds into what Duncan calls a big box of maths, where the British developers' algorithms create variations on those themes. Short trees with orange foliage. Short spaceships with stubby cockpits. Alien creatures whose deer-like ancestry is graspable at a glance. Feed No Man's Sky big box of maths the same inputs, the art team's seeds, and it will produce the same outputs whether on your system or a friend's. That's where the mighty universe comes from. So this is a perfect marriage of art and computer game. But not art in the way that we...
chaos.
And chaos. Pretty damn awesome. All this is created
I
by
wish I had the.
like just simply by just throwing shit into a box and like, here's the universe. It's crazy.
Like I just now they go on to say, so the artists at Hello Games created a blueprint system wherein the artist creates a template. It begins, in other words, with handmade art. Then the math box creates variations on those themes. It tweaks the lioness's leg length, stretches her neck, colors her. The tiny team focuses on efficiency, again out of necessity. To create as little work as possible, they identified similar things, like bone structures. The system can move bones around and create poses that range from owls to proud stallions and hundreds of different movement cycles. That applies to everything from ships to sea creatures. In No Man's Sky, dolphins, sharks, and whales all share a common ancestor. Like, the brilliance of what they are doing here is just amazing.
It's unreal. Like the fact that they can, the way they developed and created this universe with a lot of hands off. Programming is that
This
is
isn't the
unreal.
first
That's
time I'm
astounding.
hearing of this, though.
Well,
Something
this
very
is like-
similar was done with Starbound, right?
I believe so, but like this kind of level of
Yeah, this is like a whole, yeah, true.
this is a whole new level. Like Starbound, everything is very samey, and I think they might experience some of that. But the problem with Starbound is it's all sprites. It's all fairly limited artistically. But this is, they can kind of shift the bones around and make things different looking. So it's just amazing. They took procedural generation to this level. Is what amazes me.
I want, like, I know, you know, everybody's saying in chat, and I've seen that too, it will be coming to the PC at some point.
It has to come to the master race at some point. Has to.
Still my heart.
Yes. It apparently that it is in the plans, but they are not giving a timetable on it. But I'll tell you one thing right now. The moment it does, it's going on this machine. Right? No question about it. And I will be drooling over every PS4 I see that has it playing, because I will want to rip the guts out of that machine for being able to play it before I can.
Nothing. 5-figure discount, buddy. Taking that thing with me. Sorry, kitty. It's mine now.
Gamerhawk, no, I do not believe it will be. There is no word that I've seen where it will be on the Xbox One. It's PS4 exclusive right now, and they are only saying it, if I remember rightly, it was coming to the PC at some point, and maybe after that, other platforms, obviously that being the Xbox One. So, yeah, it could end up there. It could. But, yeah, rip the guts. Want it. We'll emulate it for you. Yeah, right.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yes. We got another bit of a trailer here for a game called Caffeine. Now, Caffeine is an indie sci-fi horror that is coming for the Xbox One, the PC, and the PlayStation. It is a space-based survival horror, and it's using the Unreal Engine 4. Players take the role of a young boy left alone on an abandoned mining station. You must investigate what happened to the crew before what lurks in the shadows finds you. And we do have a trailer for it, and it's not a bad looking length of a trailer. So let's have a look and see what Caffeine has in store for us. Exactly, Ferret. Exactly. Any Five Nights at Freddy's, anybody?
The game.
Okay, guys, come on, let's get with it. You're setting the stage just fine. Come on.
Plodding along.
Can I go to sleep now? God damn. Because if this is the game, I'm done. I'm out of here.
I played the demo.
So, when's the jump scare? You've got to be fucking kidding me!
Nope. Chuck Testa.
You've got to be fucking kidding me! What the fuck is that shit?
I played the demo. I could have told you. I should have told you.
To Cranky, to pull a quote from you and kind of change it around, I got 2 words for you.
Really?
No, not this game. You know what? I bought not a survival horror, but a horror game on Steam. It was on sale for $1, and it wasn't scary. It was called Home, and no, just no. I'm probably gonna watch someone play this and laugh through it all like I do any other horror movie.
Like, I'm still sitting here going, like, what the fuck?
Like, one jump scare. Just
yeah,
one. Give me
at
a
least
taste.
one. Okay, Fiola, you played the demo. Please tell me there's at least something there.
Well, it's all about the atmosphere. That's all I can really say. If you are in the dark and you are with your headphones and all by yourself with your little booties on and everything and you're all comfortable, then you might actually get scared. But it's nowhere near like other horror games I've played. Like Montas blows caffeine out of the fucking water when it comes to atmosphere.
Fucking Five Nights at Freddy's beats it out of the water.
Doom 3
Five Nights at Freddy's is a rage game. It's not a horror game,
yes,
in my
that's true.
opinion.
Yes, yes, it is.
I just want to put my fist through anything when I play Freddy's. Anything.
Thank you, Scout.
Like, Doom 3 is probably the last game that made me jump. Like a jump scare jump. And it was because you hear this girl and go down a corridor, there's no one there, turn back around, go through the door that was the obvious next way to go, and an imp jumps at you when the door opens. That scared the crap out of me. Enough that I went back to my previous save, went through it again, with shotgun ready, door open, bang! That's what you get for scaring me.
We have another one that is on the PS4. I'm not sure if it's on any other one, and this would be right up, I think, Dizzy's alley because he's a big Starship Trooper fan. Hell Drivers. It is. Let me just see if I can find. Hell Drivers opens up with an ironic propaganda video that immediately recalls "Would you like to know more?" infomercials from the wonderful 1997 cinematic adaptation of Starship Troopers. It's a knowing homage, and the whole game carries on that sort of tongue-in-cheek bravado. You play as a citizen of Super Earth who is signed up to join the Hell Divers, an elite commando team that wages war against aliens abroad. You're a tiny cog in a massive war machine, and as you blast your way through enemy troops, your characters will yell things like, "Get some! Say hello to democracy." It's silly, half as sharp as the film is aping, but it works. The game itself is a top-down shooter. You move with your left stick, aim with your right stick, and equip all manner of sniper rifles, rocket launchers, lasers, and grenades. You'll play with up to 3 teammates, all 4 of you on the same screen. Maps and mission objectives appear to be procedurally generated. Before you deploy, you look over a map with a number of objectives, go blow up the bug hive or transport the briefcase back to the drop point or activate the SAM site. It all comes with a broad plan of attack. We have a bit of a video for it, so let's have a look and see what you guys think of Helldivers.
They are soldiers of freedom. Super Earth is their home. Democracy their creed.
Super Earth.
They are the Helldivers. And they need you. Travel the galaxy.
Starship
Visit foreign
Troopers.
worlds
This what
and
the
encounter
fuck?
exotic life forms. Modest, noble inhabitants in dire need of liberation. Spread democracy.
That's
Bring
liberation right
Oh,
there.
it's like
prosperity
Alien
and
Swarm.
justice throughout the stars. Command tomorrow's most sophisticated and overwhelming firepower. Superior
It's just like Alien Swarm.
and safe. Become heroes of the Federation. Work together. Coordinate your fire.
Just chalk that under
personal
pilot error.
teammates. So ready your arms.
I would totally play this
Prepare for
in a heartbeat.
planetfall and bring democracy to the universe once and for all.
You know what? I'm gonna be the guy who
Don't wait.
calls in the
Enlist
dropship on
today.
top of his team at least once.
Okay. So I'm sorry, but that's Starship Troopers. I'm sorry, right? Like from beginning to end, that whole intro, that was Starship Troopers. No doubt about it. I've got to save that one for Dizzy to have a look at because he is just going to go off on a rocket on this one. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think? Is like
why are they making me want a PS4? I can't afford it. No. Like this, I even said this in chat. Even before I saw the video, this sounds like Smash TV beats Starship Troopers. And visually actually nailed it better as Alien Swarm. And yeah, this looks hilariously fun because I'm looking forward to dropping a ship on my party.
And if it's anything like Alien Swarm, it will heavily rely on cooperative teamwork.
Well,
like,
yeah, there's
absolutely.
Yeah, there's like it's a team game. By the sounds of it, I don't think there is a single player part of it. This is strictly team player. So yeah.
The replay value is just gonna that is just wonderful. My soul is about 5% more complete now.
Well, I am so glad I could end off the night like this. That you are both happy campers, even though you can't play the fucking game. You're just happy that you got a chance to see this, because hey,
it's Starship Troopers.
Yes,
that's what friends are for.
Yes,
I'm gonna borrow your PS4 forever.
Yeah,
forever.
Alrighty, folks. We're gonna call this show to a close. A couple one announcement basically. Actually two, because I'm gonna kind of leak a little something. I've got an email into Paradox to see if I can get an interview, a special edition interview with the developers of City Skylines. I have yet to hear back from them, but I've got my fingers crossed. So I will keep you guys informed because I think it's going to be an awesome. Don't do that. That hurts.
Oh, what the fuck?
Crossing there, crossing here. Yeah. It's the Pentacross.
Did I do it? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey! But I will keep you guys informed. Also, this weekend, I am introducing a new show called Center Stage, and we are launching it with PAX coverage. Let me just pull up the calendar so I can give you an idea of what we're going to be. I've got it up. I'm an idiot. On Friday, Red Mage will be my co-host. We will, at 10:30 a.m., we will be covering the Blizzard preview. After that, I will be doing just basically covering the Twitch booth stream, all the stuff that they're going to be doing. At 6 p.m., Just Cause 3 panel will be covered. On Saturday, we'll be covering the Talking Final Fantasy Heaven's Sword at, I think, 12 p.m. That will be followed by a Smite MOBA Market and Xbox One panel that will be happening. Then at 4:30, we'll be covering the Pillars of Eternity panel. And then at 7:30, for a little while, the Twitch Town Hall. On Sunday, Red will be joining me back again for Inside Gearbox at 10:30. And then we'll see where the rest of the day goes. So that will be starting Friday at 10:30 in the morning with Blizzard Preview on Center Stage. So hopefully you'll mark it down in your calendars or follow me on Twitter. I am the Cranky Canuck. You'll find me there. And I'm sure if I sort of drop this, these guys' links into chat, if you follow them, they will also let you know what is going on. But for now, if you've enjoyed this evening's kind of strange, entertainment conversation, let us know. Maybe if you haven't yet, hit that old follow button down there. We really appreciate it because it lets us know we're doing something right, and that helps. But for now, thank you, Red Mage, for jumping in.
Pleasure.
And Fioli, thank you very much, dear lady, for letting Karate take care of things and taking her place tonight. But on that note, folks, we will say goodnight until tomorrow at 12 a.m. But until then, remember the most two important words of all. Game on.
The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules? The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules? The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
User in your channel timed out.
You all the places I'm dreaming of. I'll take you to the ocean, I'll bring the sun.